And we're back on the build phase. I'm your host, Mr. Ben, and today we are going to talk about Legacy's Allure. Not that one. This one. But before I open this box, I want to talk about how I actually came to hear about this really cool new game that is currently on Kickstarter. So about a year ago, I want to say it was May of 2021, the designer behind this game reached out to me. And on the back of the video interview that I had done with Zenitsu about the Death of Argent Saga, said, hey man, I'd like to get your take on this game, you know, more people to play, we can make a better game. And I said, sure, I'm totally interested in checking out a new game. So I got invited to this Discord server, and at the time there was not even like art on the cards. Like you can see the amazing art that's above me here. None of that was there yet. But the core idea of what the game wanted to be, which was a non-random card-based dueling game, really appealed to me. I'm not the biggest tabletop simulator fan in the world, and most of the playtesting that was happening with the game was on Tabletop Simulator. A number of times I tried to get in and play, and for quite a while it didn't work out. Eventually, Discord member Speed Robo, same dude who sent me this, got a hold of me and said, hey man, I know you've been trying to do this. It hasn't worked out a number of times. Let's set a day. Let's show you the game. And that's exactly what happened. So at this point, I have played the game on TTS. I really liked a lot of features about it. But I said, you know, once the Kickstarter goes live, once we can get some product in hand, I'm going to support it on Kickstarter, and I will evangelize about it to my play group. But, you know, play tests are what play tests are. That's all changed. The Kickstarter just launched. I've got this demo kit here, and we're going to dive into it right now today. I have played the game before, so I have some opinions which may come out in this video. Primarily, I'm just going to be showing off all the stuff that's in this kit. Then I'm going to teach Whitman how to play, and then me and Whitman are going to come back and do a full game review of what we think of at least the demo decks that are in this box. Of course, there's more to the game than just what's in this box, but at least this will give us a taste of it. So let's dive right in. All right, so first off, this is our mat here. Ooh, that probably sounds awesome on the speakers. Let's get rid of this plastic wrap first thing. All right, so this game is played much like chess. You've got your field, and you're going to move your cards across it. So as you play your cards out, you can kind of see this line here. This indicates the starting area for one of the teams, and this mat is actually pretty big. I can't fully do it justice on the desk camera. And I don't know if I can even get back far enough to show off the whole thing. This is a big mat. Made out of like a microcloth fiber, which is one of the options they have on the Kickstarter. They also have another version of the mat as well, cardboard, I think. So this is the surface upon which you play the game. And these are the cards. Now, before we get into these cards, they did tell me these are a pre-production copy. Things have been changed. I don't know the specifics of every change that's been made, but I would assume all the card abilities, all the card art, everything it's all subject to change right up until the final product ships. So, like, let's keep that in mind. Also, I would never put a rubber band around real cards. I'm just saying. So there are some dice in this box. However, this is a non-random game. So these dice are here for tracking of counters for card effects and such, but there's no dice rolling involved in actually playing the game. So when you sit down to play Legacy's Allure, you're going to have your kingdom, which is essentially your deck of cards, and you're going to recruit cards out to the board prior to any play beginning. You can kind of see the number here. I've got it the wrong way. The card will actually fit like so. The other thing that's really cool, and this is one just awesome point that really impacted me when I was learning how to play the game. Every card has the reminder text for whatever special powers they have on the back of the card. Because this is a non-random game, because all the cards, you choose your kingdom and then you play with your kingdom, there's no shuffling, and that gives all this extra real estate to be devoted towards game mechanics, which is something that I wish more games did. Honestly, there's not enough real estate on the front of the cards for the rules at all times. So we're going to go through every card in here, and then we'll probably wrap this up, and then we'll come back and do a full game review when I have a chance to get on here with Whitman. So this is one of the like leader guys. A Crag Wyvern. So I do really like how the art has come together on this. These guys have flying. Cards are going to have their attack value, their movement value, their health, and some of them will have range. So all the necessary information you really need to know what a card does is on the card, which I really appreciate. Man, that Hellbear looks really cool. I like the look of that cave troll too. Man, all this stuff is neat. So you're going to have factions, the different like colors of the color wheel, to put it into Magic the Gathering terms, but then you'll also have some neutral items that are like items or equipments that you can put onto or put into the kingdom of any one of the leaders. Man, that art looks amazing. These little devil guys are great. Fire Fist Minotaur. The detail, I don't think my camera is sufficient to really capture the detail on these cards, but this Razormane Manticore looks truly impressive. Oh man, look at this guy getting destroyed. Good look for Lightning Bolt. So there is kind of a Magic the Gathering feel to the overall art style, although again, not, and Goblin Bombardier. I feel like this is like straight off of a Magic card. Lower quality spells that are using essentially the same artwork, but you've got more damage being done across them, or yeah, each one does more damage. Oh, Chain Lightning. Okay, so that's every card in the Carthol Orc High Wizard deck. Although I want to go back and look at that Vulture one more time. Was he down at the bottom? I like that. I like that a lot. All right, so that's the red deck. Rubber bands. I can't remember the last time I peeled rubber bands off the outside of a card stack of cards. Here we have Tristan, the Oathsworn Captain. So this is more like your... I mean, you kind of... There's a World of Warcraft vibe here. There's a Magic the Gathering vibe. Like, you can kind of look at the various champions along the top that I have here, and you kind of get the idea of the general theme that the game's going for. Now, I don't think the theme is the standout component of this game. I think innovations like having the game rules that are appropriate for the card printed on the back of the card, the non-randomness while still being a card-based combat game, I think these are the innovations that really make Legacy's Allure stand out. So even if the artwork, it looks gorgeous, I get that it could fit in a number of different fantasy scenarios, but the game, for me, is what really caught my attention. So we've got Swordsman, Shield Bash. Yeah, so this is more like your kind of like knights and like almost like your good guy deck. I mean, I don't want to be speciesist against orcs or anything, but I grew up with Lord of the Rings, you know what I'm saying? So this is another one of these generic cards here that any champion could use, but they're in these decks. I wonder if... So this is a guy who I think the number of magic uses that a character has, I think that's one of those things that the dice in the box are meant to track. I'm going to have to brush up on the rules again. It's been a month or two since I last played. Of course, I like to brush up on the rules of... You know what? Actually, does it have that specific ally pathing imbued? So this guy does magic damage instead of regular damage. Doesn't specifically... So you will still need a rule book. Even though the rules for the specific effects on a card, like this charge, what does charge mean? Any of the keywords, you can flip the card over and you will still need the rule book to know the general game mechanics, which makes sense. You can't expect them to fit that on the back of the card. Oh man, the Ultra Knight has such clean artwork. I love that. Divine Favor. I think I played that in a Hearthstone game earlier today. Okay, so that's the two demo decks. and our game board. I will, on a subsequent video, get an angle big enough so that you can really appreciate how big this playmat is, because it's massive. I think this opens up the miniatures war game kind of space a little bit more. I certainly am not a player. While I do appreciate miniatures based war games, I don't appreciate the amount of space those miniatures take up in my house. And while, again, I'm a player who will play Hearthstone or Versus, or I mean, Dice Throne's a great example because there's dice rolling built in. I will play games that have randomness built in. I also love chess. So the idea of a combat, a 1v1 combat game where I don't have to store 3,700 square feet worth of miniatures in order to play it, and it's completely unrandom. There's a lot of stuff going for this on a mechanical level. Now, does that make the gameplay good? I think it does. I'm going to teach you to Whitman, and we'll come back and we'll do a full review of the game. So until next time, go win some games.